Tony Daunt is the executive director of the Michigan Freedom Fund. His office, too, looks right over the Capitol, right next to ours here. He's on our AT&T line at this moment. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
What do you make of that? You've heard it all. You've seen it all. What do you make of the tone of the Senate Majority Leader?
Well, my experience with Senator Shirkey is that he's always been one throughout his career to be very judicious and thoughtful in the way he goes about things. He's as solid a conservative as you could find in terms of his underpinnings and what he believes in the policies he wants. But, he understands that with a Democratic governor that there's going to be some give and take, and he's willing to hold firm on what he believes and willing to work with the governor if she is proving and shows that she is an honest broker, which, is good that he believes that and feels that. I may have a slightly different take on that, but good for him.
Well, I mentioned that your office looks over the Capitol, and since we're talking about looking at the Capitol, let's talk about transparency, and let's talk about one of our other state leaders, the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, who may not be as transparent as you'd hoped.
Absolutely not. This is an individual who, throughout her career, has made transparency a hallmark of her various campaigns and her public statements, and has indicated repeatedly that it's important for the public to know what the government is up to. And we wholeheartedly agree with that. It's important for us to know what our leaders are doing, how they're communicating, who they're communicating with. And unfortunately, through public records requests that we've made at the Michigan Freedom Fund over the last 8 months, and that the Michigan Republican Party has made over the last 8 months, it's proven to be all talk and no action. And it's the height of hypocrisy, and it's disappointing. And I think people have a right to know that she's not true to her word.
What do you want to know?
Well, there's numerous things. The first thing that we asked for records on was the shameful agreement between her office and Build a Better Michigan, which your listeners will probably remember was a committee set up to help Gretchen Whitmer during the gubernatorial campaign, who broke the law to the tune of about $2 million of illegal spending. And the Secretary of State's office came in and said, well, you know what, we're just going to give you a little feather tickle on the wrist of about a $30,000 fine, and left it at that. And we want to know what communications occurred between the office and Build a Better Michigan representatives to get to that decision. And to this point, we've been stonewalled, and we get repeated requests for clarification of what we're looking for. We've been outright denied most of it, because they claim that there's a right to exempt certain things because of frank communication, which just simply doesn't exist. And so, there's that. There's the issue of this redistricting commission that we're looking for information on the communications and how they're setting that up, and the Michigan Republican Party as well. And they've tried to charge them $45,000 for that information. There's nothing in the law that says you have to exempt or you have to go through and look through things to black out. They could just turn this over, but they choose not to because they're hypocrites.
This position, with the last minute that we have here, of Secretary of State, is, although elected in a partisan fashion, supposed to be a nonpartisan position, right?
Well, one would hope, at least with the interpretation and the execution of our, election laws and on election day. And the previous 3 secretaries of state in my lifetime that I've been involved have been very much nonpartisan in that administration. Unfortunately, with what we've seen from Jocelyn Benson, I don't know if we can expect that moving forward. Are you
well heard in her office? Or are they stonewalling you or ignoring you? Or giving you the mushroom treatment, as they say.
I would say that probably the mushroom treatment, where we ask for things and we get a response of we're going to start looking into this.
Yeah.
But then we get requests for lots of money to get it, and repeated clarifications. It's silliness.
MichiganFreedomFund.com is where you can sign up for the Front Lines of Freedom, which is put out every week by Tony Daunt, and get your eyes open to what's going on in the state.